My friend wears the same jacket whether he's impersonating Matt Damon or Hugh Jackman. Maybe he's born with it. Maybe it's Wolverine. Welcome to Comic Book Editions Volume 255. If you've come looking for mutants, you found the right video. I have an all X-Men haul that I'm going to share with you today. I'm 3 issues away from having a consecutive run of X-Men Volume 1 that stretches from 99 through 220. The 3 issues I'm missing are 104, 110, and 111. We'll see if we can't change that dynamic before today's video is over with. This is your official welcome. Before I begin, I want to extend a happy birthday wish to my friend Steven, who's celebrating his birthday today. Steven, I hope you're having a fantastic day. You're an awesome person, and I can't wait to celebrate your birthday with you in person very soon. Onward to the X-Men. We start out with a poster. I was very excited a few months back when Marvel decided to release a poster to the cover of X-Men 137. They did this in conjunction with the X-Men 137 facsimile release. Of course, it's John Byrne artwork and Terry Austin on the inks. My very first X-Men comic book that I ever owned as a childhood collector was 129. And then I had 136 as the next one. So I had to piece together the rest of the Dark Phoenix saga from back issue purchases as a childhood collector. It is my favorite all-time Marvel storyline. I reread it about every year and a half or so and still get the same amount of enjoyment as that initial read. I remember looking at this cover for the very first time and thinking, why is Jean in her Marvel Girl costume? What is going on? Is she not Phoenix anymore? Is this comic book worth $2,500 to me? I mean, all this stuff was blowing my mind. And this poster is going to be a nice remembrance of the Dark Phoenix saga, which I love so much. I know that you would really enjoy some posters up on my walls behind me, and I've said when I hit 1,000 subscribers that I'm going to take care of it. In all honesty, it's freaking me out. I have the material and the sources of stuff to put up. I just don't have a game plan for it, and I feel like you're going to be disappointed by what I do, and I think that I might be overthinking it a whole lot. But I will say one thing. Thanks to your support, 1,000 subscribers isn't that far away. I'm less than 30 from that goal. So if you're new to my channel, welcome, and haven't subscribed, I hope you'll take this opportunity to do so. Sharing my channel with someone that might enjoy it or subscribe is a great way to show support to my channel. If you're a returning friend, thank you for coming back to check out what I've added into my collection. The algorithm loves it if you give this video a thumbs up, a heart, and I love reading your comments, which I'll ask for at the end of today's video. I can't believe we're getting this close to 1,000 subscribers. Blows my mind. Into some Bronze Age X-Men comic books. Didn't I just say that issue 104 was one of the 3 that I needed for that consecutive run? I did, and now we can cross that off of the list. We're at 1977. Chris Claremont is the writer. Dave Cockrum is the artist. We have a lot of firsts going on in this era of X-Men. For example, this is the first time Magneto fights the new X-Men, the new team. So I think it's only appropriate that they did an X-Men #1 cover homage, which I love. This is poster worthy in its own right. This issue also brings us the first Starjammers. It's the first full appearance of Lilandra and the first appearance of Muir Island. This issue was never an easy one for me to find. I ended up getting this in the next 2 issues that I'm going to show you from online. And this era of X-Men always maintains its value, if not increases. There's always an interest and a demand for this era. So sometimes I think that it's hard to find these issues or get a good deal on some of these issues. But I was happy with the price and the condition that I ended up in being able to add these into the collection. Love this one. Up next, do we have another one off that list? Nope. This time we have X-Men 98. We're at 1976 right now. Same creative team, Chris Claremont, Dave Cockrum. I love this cover with the Sentinels coming down to fight the X-Men. Big purple robots on a skyscraper. How can you not end up enjoying this? So as I said a moment ago, a lot of firsts in this era. This is the first time we find out that Wolverine's claws are part of his body and not just part of his gloves. Jean ends up wearing this black evening gown as she goes out to dinner with Scott, and Wolverine will end up slashing the dress down into like a miniskirt. I'll tell you, if Jean only knew how long she was going to end up wearing that miniskirt, she might have worn something a little bit more comfortable. This is the beginning of a 4-issue story arc that's going to take the X-Men to space, and it's going to dramatically change what happens to Jean Grey. So 98, 99, 100, and 101. Stan Lee and Jack Kirby make an uncredited cameo appearance. The X-Men are in the Rockefeller Plaza area. It's wintertime, and they witness a public display of affection between Scott and Jean, and they comment, "This never happened when we were running things." But Stan and Jack aren't the only ones to make an appearance in this comic book. How about Clark Kent and Lois Lane? They make a panel cameo, also in the Rockefeller area, walking past our X-Men. So that was very cool to see. I don't know how they sneaked that in there without getting in trouble, but I love the fact that they did. Another Bronze Age X-Men. Issue 97, the previous issue that was released at the end of 1975. So throughout this entire issue, they misspell Havoc's name, and they end up spelling it H-A-V-O-C through the entire issue. Of course, Havoc's in a relationship with Lorna Dane. This is the first time that she refers to herself by the code name of Polaris. It's also our first appearance of the image inducer that Nightcrawler very briefly used. And it's our first mention of the Shi'ar in general. So some cool things going on in this X-Men comic book. And I can say now, okay, I didn't fill in the 3 issues that I needed to have that consecutive run of 99 through 220. But what we changed it to, from needing 3 issues between 99 and 220, now I need 2 issues between 97 and 220. So I think that's almost better. So that 110 and 111, one has the X-Men trapped in the danger room, and then the 111 is Banshee as a carnival barker. I've got to work on getting those into my collection sometime in the near future too, so I can really have 97 through 220. I don't know what, it would be very awesome if I end up doing 94 through 220, but right now 94 is not in the price range that I'm willing to pay. So you never know what's going to happen. Just keep an eye open, and we'll see. Time will tell. And of course, I'll be sharing updates here on my YouTube channel about that. Those are some great Bronze Age that I've added into my collection. This one I was pleasantly surprised to put into the collection. This is Giant Size X-Men #1 Facsimile Spot Foil, which was an exclusive from GameStop stores earlier this summer. I had heard about this, and I had heard from the very initial get-go, I think it was in June, that a lot of people were having trouble finding these at GameStop stores. And I just went over to my GameStop when I first heard about it and thought, oh, it doesn't hurt. I have one here in the town I live, and I thought it doesn't hurt to see if they have it or not. And they did, and I ended up not really having a problem getting this into the collection. So these are still selling at least at 30 bucks on eBay. 30 bucks on up is kind of where you start to get yourself a copy of one of these. So usually I always feel like I at a disadvantage or have some type of trouble finding stuff like this when other people can't find it. But this one was a piece of chocolate cake to add into the collection for sure. I'd love to own an original GSX-1 someday. Or I'd love for Justin No Good Comics to send me his. But so far, neither one seem to be in the immediate future. It all kind of began for the new X-Men with this issue. And the spot foil, rather, is pretty awesome on this, I'll say. So those are some X-Men that I've recently added into my collection. And for the funsies of it, I'm just going to show this as well. Recently released was Laura Kinney Wolverine, issue #10. This is the Alex Ross Timeless Disco Dazzler variant. Yes, my Disco Dazzler got herself her own variant finally in that classic Timeless line. I actually wouldn't mind picking up another copy of this. I've been fortunate enough to meet Alex Ross in the past, and if I could ever meet him again, it'd be nice to have an extra copy of this, and maybe I'd get him to sign this for me, sign and personalize it to me. I think it would look pretty sharp, especially signed in a blue. Don't you think a blue would look really nice? Or maybe even an orange. So I don't know, just that doesn't hurt to be prepared for it, just in case I can ever make that happen again. But if it doesn't, I had a great memory of the experience of meeting him when I did a few years back. So that wraps up Comic Book Editions 255's X-Men content. My back issue of the week YouTube short is currently on my channel that dropped yesterday morning. Check it out, talking in detail about a comic book that's within my personal collection. Speaking of X-Men, the Omni X-Men show, which No Good Comics and John's Comics with Friends does, they're gearing up for a new season. Well, at their season finale from this past season, I won 2 prizes, including the grand prize. I've never won the grand prize from them. And that is a custom commission from New Mutants done by Geek Out with Roscoe. So I'll have that to share with you in the near future in the Comic Book Editions video, so be on the lookout for that. In the meantime, you DC friends, I'm looking at you, Tim, will know that some DC content is coming up. Geek Out with Roscoe is actually going to be our special guest. He's scheduled for this upcoming Sunday on Fanboys Live in the Retro Review, 8:15 p.m. Eastern, 7:15 p.m. Central. With myself, Geek Out with Roscoe, special guest, and of course, Signature King. We look forward to seeing you for the greatest DC Comics show on YouTube, Fanboys Live and the Retro Review. I know I like to gab a lot, and most of my videos are a lot longer. I try to do a little bit shorter on this one, just in appreciation of your time, which I'm very thankful for. But please tell me in the comments, what did you think about what I shared today? Do you have any of these books in your collection? Are you looking for any of them? What's your consecutive X-Men collection volume 1 looking like? It goes from issues what to what? Share all of this and more in the comments section. Those comments welcomed, encouraged, and appreciated. I'll see you soon for the next Comic Book Editions volume 256. Until then, be well. Take care. Bye-bye for now. With. This is your official welcome. I'm very glad that you're here. Of course, 110 and 111. We'll see if we can